We really need way to validate startups during the process, and today the validation is very poor, and I think it's a pity to leave the validation just to the business perspective. There's a lot of stuff to say about EdTech, quality-wise, and I guess universities can really contribute a real value to the industry in this sense. So I'm Avi Warshavsky. I'm from Israel, and I'm running MindCET, which is, we call ourselves EdTech Innovation Center, which is a headline that it doesn't say anything specific. But what we try really to do is to create solutions for the next generation for educational system based on technology. We are a spin-off of maybe the biggest player in Israel in the educational field, both a very strong content publisher, but also a big software house with, let's say, more traditional EdTech, LMS systems, ebook systems, and so forth. And MindCET role is really to suggest solutions for 2 or 3 years ahead. And in a very early stage of MindCET evolution, we realized that the best way to do it is through independent entrepreneurs. And we created sort of expertise in supporting entrepreneurs and really giving them the best condition to create their solutions. And we have a few accelerator programs for different audiences, and we have an R&D arm, and also lots of activities with the users. And we believe that in the end of the day, the interesting stuff will be sort of collaboration in between active users and very, let's say, hungry entrepreneurs. So we try to find this sweet spot. We started our first steps about 7 years ago, which was a pretty good timing. Like there were lots of capital in the United States. And I can say what we saw happening between those years and now. First of all, China became to be a huge player, bigger than the United States, which has an upsides and downsides, obviously. Like I think China is much more oriented to traditional solutions, lots of STEM, lots of STEAM, and of course other, let's say, humanities won't be represented in this industry as science or STEM subjects. From the other hand, it gives lots of opportunities. Another thing we see, and this is something that based on lots of our activity, we are running a global startup, the global startup EdTech competition, which I think it's the biggest today in the field, with a lot of partners across the globe, and we have a very good position really to see what's going on out there, and there's a lots of interesting stuff which is not the United States and China, which is usually not really get exposed enough. Very fascinating stuff that's happening in Latin-Amerika, Europe, Asia, and so forth. So and we see more and more of that. I think although Europe is still behind in investment, we do see some kind of a change. And Israel, by the way, is like Europe. Like the investors in Israel are still very suspicious about EdTech. We really need way to validate startups during the process. And today the validation is very poor. And I think it's a pity to leave the validation just to the business perspective. There's a lot of stuff to say about EdTech, quality-wise, and I guess universities can really contribute a real value to the industry in this sense. And the other sense is promoting this domain. Like a lot of the work we do is in creating an ecosystem of potential entrepreneurs, and I think that the best place to start is universities. And since there's already a lot of entrepreneurship programs in universities, I think putting EdTech as on the map of those programs can really contribute to the ecosystem. When we started our first cohort about 6 years more or less, we had 6 companies with PowerPoints. Good ideas, but none of them had the product. This last cohort that we had about 7 companies. Everyone was starting the accelerator already with a product and with users. And we choose those 6 out of 200 Israeli companies that were out there with products. So it's a very good sign of the evolution of the deal flow. There are much more experienced entrepreneurs are really looking into EdTech and seeing EdTech as a field. Still, I feel that we have a very strong competition over those entrepreneurs, because when they have to choose between cyber or blockchain and EdTech, it's not an easy move to do.